Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohamad Akram bin Ismail. Today, me and my group will present about theory of trade union movement. Okay, firstly, let me introduce my group. First, myself, Muhammad Akram Mujahid bin Ismail, and Muhammad Salihin bin Abdul Latib. Third, Muhammad Hafiz bin Mazlan, and Muhammad Ashraaf bin Anuar. Fifth, Muhammad Hanif Hilmi bin Mohamad, and lastly Muhammad Amin bin Zulkarnain. Okay, let's continue with content. First, we have 6 content, which is web theory, the Marxian theory, permanent job consciousness theory, Marxist socio-psychology theory, and Tenenbaum technological theory, and lastly Mahatma Gandhi approach. Okay, I will present about web story. Let's look into it. Web story, also called non-revolutionary Bible of trade unionism, an extension of democracy from political sphere to industrial sphere. And Webb also agree with Karl Marx, which is trade unionism is a class struggle and modern capitalist state is transitional. And lastly, collective bargaining structure Lebu. Webb developed a process and criteria for systematically analyzing the alignment between standards and standardized assessment. Since then, the process and criteria have demonstrated application to reviewing curricular alignment as well. This body of work offers the depth of knowledge, DOK, model employed to analyze the cognitive expectation demands by standards, curricular activity and assessment tasks. The model is based upon the assumption that curricular alignment may all be categorized based upon the cognitive demand required to produce an acceptable response. Each grouping of tasks reflects a different level of cognitive expectation or depth of knowledge required to complete the task. It should be noted that the term knowledge as it is used here is extended to broadly encompass all forms of knowledge. Let's see the OK level. 1, title of level is called recall and reproduction. OK level 2, skill and concept. OK level 3, short-term strategic thinking. And OK level 4, extended thinking. Okay, that's all for me. We continue with my next teammate. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohamad Salihin bin Abdul Latib. Entry number I1102859. So I will be the next presenter. I will present about the Marxian theory in chapter 3. So the Marxian or Karl Marx is the social, political and economic thesis focuses on the struggle between capitalists and the working class. So basically his theory based on the conflict between these two classes. There is the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. So first, the bourgeoisie is the refer to the part of the society, including employer and people who run a large company that own most of wealth. And for the proletariat, is refer to the class and people who do unskilled job in the industry and own a little or no properties. So next slide is the point of his theory. Marx accepted that competition among labor for immediate gain would ultimately weaken their solidarity, but he was confident that their organization will ultimately become symbolic of their class and will become stronger. And the next point is in Marx's view, the birth of trade union has been the result of the struggle between the two classes, that is the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. So he believed that this conflict will ultimately lead to the revolution in which the working class will overthrow the capitalist class and seize control of the economics. So there is the criticism in his theory. First is that the goal of skilled worker might not be identical to the goal of unskilled worker. As such, the condition envisaged by Marx and conducive to the formation of union are not stable across time or culture. Next point is the Marx assumption that the state always sides with the capitalist class is also not always tenable. And for the next point is trade union has refined from political struggle among American for condition of labor, where many trade unions have come to rely of economic and industrial relation to protect and the interests of the labor. So a little bit conclusion about this theory. According to the Marx, the capitalism is based on the exploitation of the proletariat by the bourgeoisie. So that's all from me for the Marx theory in chapter 3.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Mohamad Hafiz from Mazlan. Next, I will present about permanent job constituency theory. Hold that labor movement in any country is shaped by three factors. Number one, the resistance power of dominance determined by its own historical development. Number two, the degree of dominance over the labor movement by intellectual mentality per man, held that the goal of labels crystallized out as communism of opportunity and intellectual dividend into type distinguishable, ethical, efficiency, expert and determinate revolutionary. According to Perman Genuine Trade Union are bread and butter trade union. Number 3, Perman hold that capitalism is a social organization presented by or over by a class with any effective will to power. Those employs its ability to defend its power against all corner.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Ashraaf bin Anuar and my ID matrix is I19204-052. I would like to present subtopic 4, Hoxie Social Physiology Theory. Introduction. Hoxie mainly described about the establishment of the idea of functional type of trade union among the labor organization and to find out the principal type existing in this country. According to him, workers striving to improve their economical and social condition, who are basically divergent in temperament and training, have high propensity to bring change in a common interpretation of the social situation and a common solution to the problem they are facing with. Therefore, for him, unionism is not only an external body having a similar taste or opinion. In other words, they are subject to environmental phenomena and temperamental characteristics. To have clear-cut idea about the nature of unionism, we need to take consideration of both the elements. Hence, closely associated workers develop their own group psychology, which is the outcome of its environmental condition and the temperamental characteristic of its member. The nature of different in group psychology promote appearance of variant union. Thus, the physiological difference of labor community lead the formation of worker into union. Okay, now we go to 5 types of union based on Hoxie. Okay, first, business unionism. The most common type of union is business unionism. It is a form of labor organization that gives importance to trade consensus rather than to close consensus. The purpose of such union is to improve wage, shorten the working hour and their condition. It gives least importance to political and social action unless their economic goals are addressed for improvement. It is visualized on the line of conservation due to its acceptance of the existing capitalistic organization and wage system. Okay, next is friendly and uplift unionism. The uplift unionism is idealistic in nature. It encourages to raising the moral, intellectual, and social life of the worker and their contribution to a better life in terms of personal dignity, leisure and culture, security, and better living standard. The preference of this union rely on the weapon of political action, mutual insurance program, and cooperative enterprise. It is conservative and law-abiding and employ the method of collective bargaining. It has a strong leaning toward cooperative, profit-sharing, political action, and group insurance. Next is revolutionary unionism. It is extremely radical in theory and action. It based distinctively on class consciousness by giving least importance to trade consciousness. Revolutionary unionism have one central theme, the complete harmony of interests of all workers, regardless of difference in skill or living standard, and the opposition of these interests to the interests of their employees. Its objective is to unite all working men into a single, unified, and fighting organization. Hoxie distinctively mentioned two kinds of revolutionary unionism. They are socialistic unionism and quasi-anarchistic unionism. Socialistic unionism advocates the replacement of capitalist system with a socialistic system. Socialistic system can be achieved through political action, and the formation of socialistic state is because of the end result of union activity. The quasi-anarchistic uphold that socialism is another form of oppression in the society, because the main motive of this form of union is to organize a society based on free industrial association. It deliberately encourages the usage of violence frequently. Okay, next we go to predatory unionism. This kind of union does not generate any pre-planned ideology. It lacks certain principles and mostly concentrate on short-run objectives. It can adopt any method which may deliver the good and it stick at nothing. Sometimes it operates by means of bribe, extortion, the sale of protection, and monopoly combination with employees. Its distinguishing characteristic is the ruthless pursuit of the method in hand by whatever means seem most appropriate at the time, regardless of ethical and legal code or effect upon those outside its own membership. Okay, next is dependent unionism. According to Hoxie, this kind of unionism is completely parasitic in nature. Its existence is due to the support of the employee. It exists in two forms. One is that company unionism, which depends solely on the employer for its growth and development, and does not serve the interests of the worker unless they oppose to the interests of the management. And second is that of the other union label. It depends upon the union label being imprinted on the product made by the union member. It is supposed to encourage greater sale and make it necessary for employer to hire union worker. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Hanif Hilmi bin Mohamad, and my metric card I 1910364. Today my turn, I want to explain about Tannenbaum technological theory. Okay, first of all, this is about the story. We go to the slide. You can look to the slide, which is this Tannenbaum theory is from the person named Frank Tannenbaum. Frank Tannenbaum has developed a technological theory of trade unionism in his book 1921 books, which is the topic is a philosophy of labor. Okay, according to him, labor movement is the result and a machine is the major cause. He held that any mode of production that uses a machine, whether it be in a factory or mine or industry, is responsible for give birth to trade union. Okay, first of all, I will honest to you all and myself that I hard to explain about this Tenem technological theory because it's hard to understand it. But I will try my best. I have read again and again to understand this. But this is my understanding. If I'm wrong, please fix me. Please correct me. Okay. First of all, this Frank Tenenbaum. The story is he tried to concern to give attention to this trade union. This trade union is about the gathering of the people, the gathering of the group to work in one department and get cooperation, give something each other idea to make the work done. But when this theory he explained about the machine. The machine is the cause of the trade union, because if we look at the factory who use the machine, this is based on Tenenbaum technological theory, not in other aspect. Not this is just the story of Tenenbaum technology theory. Okay, let's go back to the story, which is this machine in the factory has affect the trade union because this machine can give a bad impact to the trade union because they can separate them, and the group or the trade union work for themselves. They're self-thinking. They're just thinking about how to make sure they work done, not to help other people, not to help other group. Okay, that's what I'm understanding from this Tannenbaum theory. For the first slide that I want to explain, that is about, look what he said. According to him, labor movement is the result and machine is the major cause. If we understand this sentence, that labor movement, the worker move, the worker is work to get the objective of the company is done. But and no, not like that. The trade union is about the worker work in group together. Okay, work in group together and just human, not the machine. Just human, not the machine. But this Tannenbaum theory, he explained that this machine exists to make separate of the people. Before this, which is no machine, and these people work together, give idea, take care of other people, in order to make sure the work or the job done well. They cooperate, they give idea, they depend on each other. That is the trade union by Tannenbaum theory. And then Frank Tannenbaum is blamed to the theory, blamed to the machine, because this machine in a factory or mine or ourselves, our industry, look at the screen, which is the slide. He held that any mode of production that use machine, whether it's be in a factory or mine or industry, is responsible for giving birth to trade union. This is if the company or factory, mines or industry want to use the machine, they have to give what we call a group, create the group to make sure that they have a relationship person. Human have to relationship in the company to cooperate each other, to take care of each other, to give an idea. That is what this Tannenbaum theory story about. Okay, that is my understand. If I'm wrong, correct me. Okay, for the second slide, I will explain in detail what is Tannenbaum theory, Tannenbaum technological theory. Okay, we're going to see to the slide, which is at the first sentence. The mechanical modes of production involve a gathering of work people, and such a congregation give rise to the trade union. What the trade union organizer does is just to formally announce to the world the already existent facts. For this sentence, I will story with you that if we have a machine to easy the work at the place of the workers, which is if we have a company and we get the machine to give a corporate to give the flow of work go easy, go well, that can give advantage to the worker and give them really easy work for them because the machine help them. And that can be the trade union because the people gathering and give congregation to their work. What the trade union organized formally announced, they announced that they want to give trade union is the already facts, and that one they want to announce, which is the trade union is already exists, but the people who have this trade union want to announce to to the society, to the community. Okay, next sentence in Tannenbaum theory. First, I explain. The first sentence I explained about the worldwide information or worldwide understanding. But in the second sentence, that in Tannenbaum view, this machinization led to breaking a society which had hitherto given to the workers security, justice, freedom, and faith. Okay, for explain this sentence, I will story that if this machine is created, I story based on the Tannenbaum theory, not the worldwide understanding. Okay, if the machine have in the industry, the people who work with the machine, they can work alone or 2 people or 3 people. Then they're not a big group of worker. Okay, if this happen when people not gathering, people not give a cooperation well in the factory, they cannot have a power to their security, to their justice, to their freedom and faith. Because of, if for example, simple example, if we have a issue in our factory, if we alone go to the boss and we talk about our problem, maybe the boss can ignore us because that problem is so simple. But if we and our bunch of group many people have a same problem and they cooperate, they gathering to see the boss and give explanation about the problem and want the solution. That is bunch of group. The power is rise. Okay, the power is increased, and the boss will think about the problem. If we alone, we cannot make the boss thinking about our problem. The boss have to think about the boss must think about the group of the worker, because we have the power, we have the gathering, we have the power of gathering of worker, and we explain to the boss. And that is the Tannenbaum view. If the machine is create to breaking the society, which means separate us to make ourselves not have the power. Yes, that is the sentence. Okay, that is enough for the second. The third what we call sentence. Okay, the workers were led to look after themselves individual, and thus the advance of machinery resulted in a social atomization. Okay, a social atomization is what I'm understanding based on what I'm reading is they separate us, they separate the worker, and then the worker build themselves and just thinking about themselves, individual, not a bunch of group. Okay, that this machinery led to look after themselves individually, not in the group. That is the machine. Because of machine, if we have the machine, that is called social atomization. Okay, so when this happened, next point, when the society when the social atomized, workers started congregating under one roof. They wanted to restore their past position. Okay, when this happened, when the social atomization happened, because of the machine, they start to think, the group or the individuals start to think to back to their past, which is, okay, I will story. Before this, we have group of worker, and we do work together without the machine. Okay, now in the Tannenbaum view, if the machine come and they separate us, we not in the group, we just individual. So if this social atomization start, so they start to think about to have back in the time, what the situation back in the time, they're gathering, they in a group, they have the power in a group. That is the explanation in this sentence. Okay, now we look in the third slide that I explained detail about the social the thinking of the group want to back to past, because the situation is that we go to the slide. First sentence, what the worker had in common was their employee, the industry they work in, the hour they labor, and the bench or the machine they work at, and the wage rate they receive, and the foreman who rule over them, the material they work, the whistle that called them from bed in the morning and about to halt to their labor, which is in the back of the story. If this machine did not exist, this is the cooperation. If we take care of each other, we just human, not the machine. We someone take care about this part, some person take care about this department, and that is the cooperation that we give if we in a group. Not we don't have a machine about this. Okay, that the situation, the situation of the work, the job, the what we call the way of work, the way of job, the way of the step of work. Everybody have their role, have their character to make sure the job done. Someone have take care of their department, someone have to take care of the department. This all human being activity, not the machine. Okay, that is the story about social automation. Before that, okay, next we go to the next point. Second sentence, they depend on one another. Cooperation, sense of identity become inevitable. This condition give them a common unity based on craft, job, shop, or industry, and led to the establish of self-consumption group. Okay, in this sentence, the second sentence in the slide number 3, that they in a group, they depend on another cooperation. Okay, they have the cooperation, they have the situation that every person have their job and they use their job well. This is about Tannenbaum theory, not another aspect. Not this is just a Tannenbaum view. Okay, they have the identity, they have their own identity, they have their own character. Okay, they have their own community, which is if we have a group, so without the machine, for example, group of we have a group of in that part, we have a group of in that part, so everybody work together and pass the work to another department. So they depend on another cooperation, they depend on each other to make the job done. Okay, they have self-conscious group. Yes, they have a conscious group. They have to take care of other people, other group, other department too. Okay, that is the explanation for this sentence. Okay, the third sentence in the slide number 3. We look social automation resulting from the individual money which was in time to be defeated by the fusing of men together functional, and this functional coalition become the firm foundation upon which the trade union movement grew, and which in fact made inevitable. So in this sentence, I will explain social automation resulting the individual money wage. Okay, next is about the criticism. Okay, some people, if they heard about this Tannenbaum technological theory, someone must have to criticize this theory. Okay, criticism number one is difficult to receive that trade union emerged, which a view to reverting back to the condition of the pre-machine era. Okay, first of all, if we have the update technology, and that technology is improve our output of company, then we cannot go back to the past, because we have the update, we have the way of the work that make the easy of the worker to make the job done. Okay, that's why they critique about this Tannenbaum theory, because they cannot back to the past. We have to use this machine to make production create the big output. Okay, that is the one critique for this Tannenbaum theory. Okay, the next is about not explain the emergence of trade union in a number of professions that do not entail the use of a machine. Okay, for this part that I want to explain, this is they do not explain about the trade union. Okay, on the company we must have this technology, because something work cannot done with the human power. We have to use the machine, we have to use the technology. Okay, for example, if 10 people want to make a output, want to make a product, 10,000, only 10%, that is impossible. Okay, so we have to have this machine. Okay, we have to have this machine to make sure the production goes well. Okay, the third criticism is it is erroneous to say that trade union movement is conservative and counter revolutionary. Okay, for this criticism, that some people say that if we use the back situation, which is only human do the work, not the machine. So the counter revolution, that is not a revolution at all. Okay, not we cannot get the update, we cannot follow the time, we cannot follow. So in the third critics, that we know this trade union sometimes have the advantage. That is the positive point that we have, because the trade union can give some update, can give some revolution to the country. Okay, sometimes that is the correction. If we say that trade union is not useful at all, we cannot say that this trade union is not useful, because trade union was created to give the company or the country the revolution, to the revolution. Okay, they have the impact of their work. That is the criticism. That is the advantage. The positive point in the Tannenbaum theory. Okay, the fourth point of criticism is Tannenbaum held that machine have produced social automation of worker. But I want to explain this social automation is created before the machine is uses. You know what I mean? Before the machine created, before the created of machine, these people, this society have a social automation already. They have already social automation. They separate themselves. They just thinking about themselves. That is the what we call before the use of machine. That kind of character of this person have social automation. That is the critique number 4. Okay, the last part of me, which is number 5 of criticism, it is not always true that trade union adopt a participative attitude toward the management, which is if we see that not always true that trade union not take a part of the management. They have take a part of the management. They have they want to get a part of management, but the boss ignore them. Okay, the boss don't want to talk to this trade union of the worker. Okay, that is the criticism. 5 criticism for Tannenbaum technological theory. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for listening my explanation. Okay, if I'm wrong, please correction me. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohamad Amin Zulkarnain. My metric number is I919203999. I would like to present my sub-chapter is number 6, Mahatma Gandhi approach. So I would like to explain about his theory in industry. So first and foremost is a conflict between a labor and capital. Conflict can broadly be divided in 4 categories, which is economy, political, social, and methodology. So the conflict between rich and poor, between labor and capital, between highly developed and backward region, and between the rural and urban areas are economic in nature. So this is the main point why it's a become conflict in back time for Mahatma Gandhi. So Gandhi recognized the conflict between the working class and capitalists. So next, number 2 is employee relationship. Gandhi by himself thinking that advocated harmonized relationship between employers and employees with strong support to fair and just treatment to the workers. So for addition, Gandhi viewed that workers' success lies in the success of employees, and India the defeat of employees. So when the employees is becoming perform, so the employer is gonna be a great developing for their business or for their lifestyle. So anything that could happen becoming improved or becoming bad for lies on the employee's head. So the employer should always to make sure that the employees is going to be success for their journey. So third is a trade union. Labor plays a crucial role in Gandhi economics. The activities of trade unions should be based on non-violence, truth, and aberrations. So, in the Gandhi era, trade union is always becoming important for a business flow, and being a peaceful mode, not a violence. So number 4 is a worker struggle strikes. In Gandhi opinion, are an inherent right of the workers for the purpose of securing justice. As laborers become organized, strike must be few and far between. To seek justice without restoring to violence and by appeal to the good sense of the capitalists by aberration is a lawful means. So when it becoming an organized and becoming more becoming a good system way in the Gandhi economics, so the strike force is not used, it's not being any meaningful for the any strikes that should be. So last but not least is a conflict resolutions. A struggle fought on the basis of true justice is beneficial to both sides. According to Gandhi, a struggle based on truth coupled with a sense of justice having no malice towards the employees is not only bound to success but will also generate good solution between the workers and the employers. So when the economics becoming more better and more stronger, the relation between the workers and employers is becoming more close and bond with each other, becoming a good way, and will have a good solutions to become more and more good economics in the Gandhi era. So that's all for me. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.